Round one, fight!
The Grim Reaper Gamers are a 25 and over gaming community with members spanning the globe, playing games across all genres, but our roots are in first-person shooters. Bring your thick skin, drink of choice, and grab your controllers. GRG members are on nightly with official community nights every Wednesday. And now, it's time for the ReaperCast. Hello everybody and welcome to the Grim Reaper Gamers ReaperCast. I'm Johnny Hustler. We're getting started here tonight. We got a crowd of 4. We got a couple new faces, well, newer faces. They have been on the show before. But without further ado, let's go around the table at the second chair. Changing it up a little bit. The grimmest of all Reapers is my co-host tonight. Lala Calamari is here. Jack, how the hell are you? What you drinking? What you playing?
I'm taking over everything. Jammer was fired for being sick. And he was promoted to PS4 team lead. I am doing fine. Right now, I am drinking a Goose Island preseason lager, and it's excellent. It's an excellent beer. Get it. Be happy. As far as when I'm gaming, it's the standard, the regular Battlefield 1, Forza Horizons 3, and Elder Scrolls. Still muscling through that, getting ready for the housing update for that.
The housing update, Jesus.
I want a house. I want a house that I will never spend 5 seconds in, but I want it.
Working on a home. All right. Third chair tonight. Coming back after several weeks when he debuted on our podcast. Quantum Klutz. Quantum, good to see you again, buddy. What you drinking? What you playing?
I guess I'll be the designated podcaster. I'm drinking a Monster Java Coffee Energy tonight. Don't really have any alcohol. Don't really drink that much. But I'm playing, of course, still grinding away to Division, the Dark Zone, farming, waiting for 1.6. Back in Warframe, we've got a couple new frames that come out. So the updates has actually been pretty good. And still chugging along on Elite Dangerous, trying to do my space FedExing and get my engineers upgraded. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Quantum handhold me through the Dark Zone, especially the new sections they're coming out with. So
when does that hit? Do we have a date yet?
The PTS closed on the 10th of this month. Everything I'm seeing in the forum chats on the PTS, there's rumoring the 20th of this month, but nothing's confirmed. I'm trying to keep an eye out on the forums, YouTube, and check most of the bigger names that actually follow them, like Eric's and stuff, but nobody's dropping any solid dates yet.
Right.
So how badly will my build be nerfed? My Alpha Bridge build?
I think Alpha is still going to be very viable in PvP and the Dark Zone. You'll lose 2 of your weapon talents, but one of the major benefits is you won't have any unlock requirements. So whatever skills or talents you like if it's talents that use a lot of skill power, as long as you've got Alpha Bridge 4-piece set, it'll automatically unlock them. So you'll have at least 4 talents tops on your guns, but you won't be able to mix it with the exotics.
I'm due to get a LMG anyway, so switch it up. Get rid of the assault rifles.
LMGs are getting a little bit of love, but not a lot. I know the FAMAS is becoming the bullpup. It's becoming an exotic, and they're saying the Warlord, the AK exotic, is actually going to be one of the stronger contenders in 1.6 update.
Good Lord. Full update on the Division. Wasn't even planning on it. Nice. And in the fourth chair, making his return from parts unknown somewhere out in the West, he's our resident Newegg employee. Big Fish, how the hell are you, buddy? What you drinking? What you playing?
Oh, hurrah! Round I. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, let's see. I am classing it up tonight, so I actually have half a glass. Actually, no. It's a big glass, so it's a half a bottle of wine. It's a red wine from... It's
Mad
a French
Dog.
wine. No. We ain't no Boone's Farm here. No, it's a French wine. I think it's just a blend, honestly. I got it from as a gift from my sister-in-law over the summer, and this is probably some of the last of it. What am I playing? Actually, you know what? I am playing video games lately, and they're not video games, and they're not on my phone. I've been really digging NBA 2K17. Just kind of cruising through that in like my career. I'm still rookie and all that. It's a fun game. It's for those who like sports and stuff. It's probably the best basketball game around. I've tried live and that's absolutely horrible. Other than that,
I even gave that a chance.
Yeah. I quit live a long time ago. It was more arcade-ish, but 2K is fun. It's got a little bit of technique to it. I know Dig plays the hell out of it, or used to. But every once in a while I'll play Elite or I'll play ESO. But every time I play Elder Scrolls, Lala just ignores me. So
I noticed that you haven't played since I ignored you that one time. So I accomplished my goal there.
Yeah, exactly.
And as far as
my heart was broken.
heart was broken. As far as NBA, are you on the Sixers and are you playing with Embiid? Well, then you suck.
Actually, I got
hail Embiid.
I got drafted by the Celtics, which I really hate the Celtics, but I got drafted by them, so I'm playing with.
I am playing. Well, I'm playing what I usually play, the Wang Simulator. Conan Exiles, bounce around, no pants on. This week I am drinking
that's
something.
I think that's the biggest thing that everybody absolutely loves about that game is the Wang Sim, except Grex.
Well, okay. Now, first off, it is a good game outside of the gigantic teabag simulator that it can be. It's a hell of a game.
It's not a simulator. Holy shit, that takes teabagging to MLG levels. Oh, holy crap. Some of the pictures you guys post. It's just wrong. That's violation. That's rape.
So, otherwise, it's a great... I mean, there is a great game along with the incredible floppy dick simulator that it gives you. But... which we have laughed at way too inappropriately, way too often. But it is a lot of fun. It's been taking my arc time lately. And I'm drinking something new this week. Omaha's Brickway Brewery. It's a wheat beer. Their Hef wheat beer. And kind of interesting. It's more kind of a cross between a wheat beer and an ale.
Interesting. So it's got a little bit of that sharpness that the ale would have, or I should say crispness. Right?
Yeah, it's got that little that crispness, that sharpness that you mentioned. It's got that little bit there, that little bit of zing that an ale has. But it has that smooth back end of a wheat beer as well. So really interesting beer. Like I said, this Brickway Brewery's got some pretty good shit. And I did an Oktoberfest of theirs a few months ago that I really loved. In fact, I think I got one more can of that left.
So hey, before we begin, and I'm just gonna completely bulldoze this whole friggin' podcast, right?
Oh, Jack's gonna love this
because the tomato meter has to go up. No, actually, before we begin, I wanted to raise glasses towards Body Farmer had a kid this morning.
Oh,
it's an amazing feat. I didn't know it was able. I didn't know guys could do that, but here's to you. Congrats.
And the word is, it doesn't look like the mailman.
I heard he named it Carson Embiid Wentz, the baby. So that's the baby's name.
Congrats, Farmer.
Congratulations, Farmer. We'll see you in about 6 months.
I hope the wife got home and did the dishes. So
hey, you know what? This makes our topic real appropriate. I didn't even think about that.
Farmer's got years of paternal bonding over video games to look forward to.
Yeah, someday. Those first few months, good luck.
Also, another announcement is we were arguing about this beforehand, and neither one of us mentioned it, John. This is episode 52, which makes it officially 2 years worth of podcast.
Yeah.
The ReaperCast. I mean, technically, we're past 2 years because we did have a couple podcast dates moved from the holidays. They would fall on Thanksgiving and Christmas and whatnot.
Right.
But officially, we're 2 years old.
Yeah, 2 years old for this show. 52nd episode. That's
scary.
That's it's scary.
God save the world.
That's right. 2 years of the ReaperCast, folks. Crack one open.
That just proves to let anybody on the internet.
I think Facebook did that long before we ever got on.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, YouTube. Oh, jeez.
All right, let's talk about some events here before we go on to a rant about that shit. Events calendar is at grimreapergamers.com/events. Check out the full calendar there. Here's some highlights. Monday nights, as usual, Titanfall 2 night. No Greg's here tonight, so can't really get a full... Were you on Monday or playing? Or
No, I checked the that group, and I believe they had at least 6 or 8 people playing. So, the reports were they were running public games all night long, and reports were they actually were winning. So it's a step up. They might actually be getting good.
So they have ringers come in.
Yeah, Enzo. They had Enzo take care of it for him.
Oh, there we go. Whatever works, whatever it takes. Wednesday night is obviously community night, as mentioned in the intro every week. Battlefield 1 and Conan. You said we had 3 squads for Battlefield, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a full 3 squads running. And for the most part, we were pretty much almost all on the same team for the whole night, except for I think one game. So that was pretty good. It was nice to see. Once we got all on the same team, we kind of steamrolled the opposition, which is nice.
Very nice. And Conan, we had quite a few on. I was on kind of later in the night. I think about 6 to 8 total throughout the day, throughout the evening and the night, building away, iron runs. Somebody went after. I think Rao went after the rock monster. I went after iron. So
that sounds like no fun, but okay.
It was good.
Is it similar to like a rock lobster? Because I mean that would be a whole lot more fun. Exactly.
There you go. B-52s are into game design now. So
nice. Also,
awesome.
On Wednesday night we had a group playing Elite Dangerous. So guys are flying around their spaceships, delivering stuff via FedEx, space FedEx. I'm surprised at that game. That's the resurgence in that. There's quite a few guys playing that.
Yeah, there's always a pretty good crowd there for Elite. Pretty dedicated crowd for the old space FedEx.
It bounced back. I mean, honestly, it was dead for a year or so, and it bounced back.
Well, that summer sale helped.
I also think it's hard because you get the fall. You had the games come out, people got diverted by that, and a lot of guys just aren't into Call of Duty and some of the fall titles, and even Battlefield. A lot of guys are hardcore Battlefield players, don't really dig Battlefield 1 as much. They, for whatever reason, I think it's probably one of the better Battlefield titles, but be that as it may. So I think people are looking for different options or breaking up just running shooters every night or the same game every night.
Yeah.
So they go back. That's why I went back to Elder Scrolls, on off nights from GRG, just for something different. And that's, as we'll go into for Sunday night, we have the Sunday night driving with the Forza 3. And that was also a thing to kind of break up the monotony of playing the same games every night. So Sunday nights, we're running the Forza rooms, and we're packing that. It's growing. And I know we got a few more guys coming.
And we get a lot for the Rocket League nights every other Thursday.
Yeah,
as well.
So it's nice. And Rocket League was big, and then it died down when all the new titles came out. And now that's kind of settled down, and people are moving on from those games or looking for something different to play. They don't want to play the same game every night. Those other games are getting a little interest in them.
Yeah, and Madden Tournament, and now that Madden's going to be on EA Access on the 24th, I believe that's the 24th that it drops. Then you'll see more getting into the Madden tournaments as well. So Friday nights, Battlefield 1 as well. Get some squads going there. Once in a while we see some Titanfall 2 as well, but I think Battlefield's been the consistent one.
I think that's because it's just easier to get a whole group in. People kind of just want to relax, have a few beers, and shoot the shit on Friday nights. And since Battlefield, there's so 32 versus 32, and the parties are 18 now, so they just kind of gravitate towards that.
Yeah. This Saturday night, Elite
Saturday
Dangerous,
day.
or Saturday day, yeah, marathon, really, day into night. Elite Dangerous, we got down the 18th from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm assuming that's Eastern time.
I think Balak has a no-wife day and is taking full advantage of it.
Yeah. Getting all the FedEx in.
So he wants to go on FedEx runs and hit him up, and he'll fly spaceships with you.
So put on those tight blue shorts on Saturday.
Very tight.
No other day? I thought that was an everyday thing.
Yeah. Like we wear pants any other day.
Well, you're running around pantless and Conan anyway.
You're right.
So.
It's
Well, I guess
free.
while Bailey's running around in the blue ones, I'm just going to be the competition and run UPS with the brown pants.
Oh boy, turf wars in space.
Great. And then, as you mentioned, Jack, Sunday driving, Forza Horizons 3 every Sunday night. You guys are still doing that through The Walking Dead, huh?
Yes, we are. I DVR Walking Dead, so I'll just watch it later. And we're still running it. Like I said, we had a complete full room, and we usually try to pick 2 cars to run. Something normal class A or S1 class that everybody can run, and we pick some races and just kind of mess around racing, and it's a good time. Fortunately, there's no skill, so anybody can win any race. But if you're interested in racing, if you're interested in cars, even if you can't play Forza, doesn't matter. Come join us. You'll probably beat us. It's a good time.
Yeah, it is a good time. And like you said, diverse gaming. So
Bumper cars for the win.
there you go.
That's what it is. It's high-speed demolition derby. Especially when Beers is driving. Oh, my goodness. I call him cruise missile.
Yeah, it's I've seen some of it. It's insane. So, all right. So again, GrimReaperGamers.com/events for the full calendar. And check out the forums also at forums.grimreapergamers.com for some times when we're looking for gamers as well. So gaming news, little bit, I don't know, a little sparse, got a little bit here and there, a few breadcrumbs out there, but still kind of a slow news run until we start getting into show season shortly. First thing we noticed, leak specs that seem to kind of, for the Nintendo Switch, that seem to kind of confirm what everybody was saying back in the summer about this thing. What we're seeing here, kind of a high-powered tablet, but not anything that's going to really push the PS4 and the Xbox One out there.
I think where it would get people is the mobile aspect. I mean, honestly, as long as they have decent games and it's not just all, Mario driven, I think it has that niche. Nintendo does really well with mobile gaming, with their DS line for, years and years. I mean, I'm interested, but it's probably, $300 more than I want to spend, and I don't want to spend anything.
Yeah. The big thing I'm seeing here, here's the biggest problem I think I see here. You got a quad core Cortex processor. It's a souped up Tegra from NVIDIA. Can do some pretty nice graphics at least. It could do at least 720 in handheld mode. And they say it can upscale to 1080p on the when plugged in to the dock and into a TV. The dock speed is still 768 megahertz, which is still considerably slower than both Xbox One and PS4. The undock speed is way slower. I mean, it cuts in half, basically, is what they're confirming. The biggest problem I have is you have pathetic storage. It's flash storage with 32 gigabytes. I mean, what current gen game can be handled on that?
Yeah, and that's the 32 gig. That's the cartridge size, right? That's what, because they're releasing the games in cartridges. I guess they kind of look like the SD cards or whatever.
They're kind of like the SD cards. There's 32 gig on board for memory within the tablet. There's going to be cards that are released, and I think I heard like 4, 8, 16, and 32, depending on the size of the game.
Maximum size of the Switch card. Oh, I think they said the maximum size is 32 gigs for those cards.
For the cards.
That's
now,
what I
there's
had for my
also
notes.
memory. There's also memory that they say they're going to be able to handle the 2 terabyte specification for SD that isn't, that's there, but there's no cards that support it yet. I think the biggest is like 256 right now in that format. They don't even have a terabyte. Maybe 512.
It cracks me because you figure 32 gigs. Now you look at some of the Battlefield or Elder Scrolls, their
70
patches. Gig. Yeah. I mean, their patch, like Elder Scrolls, I think the Elder Scrolls Online patch was 55 gig. Craig just downloaded it the other day. 55 gig.
Yeah.
I think that's out. I think that's absurd, but.
Yeah, but if they're doing cartridge and it's if they're not really, if you look at it from a handheld standpoint, they're not going 1080p. And honestly, for however big the screen is, what is it, 6 inches or something like that?
6.2.
Yeah, you don't need 1080p. You can get by with 720 and be perfectly fine. As long as it's crisp. And if the gameplay is on there, like I said, it's a niche market. They do well in their handhelds. I don't see it as a replacement for a console. It's more of kind of like it's going to be like everybody's Wii that just sits in the corner basically. And oh hey, there's a new Zelda game out, so I'm going to get it. And that's pretty much what I want to do. Is I want to play Zelda because I love the franchise.
I think what they really need is find a way to attract developers to get there, and they may not be able to do it with the major developers, but this may be something where they could tie into some of the mobile app developers, like the mobile gamers, and bring that kind of development over to them.
Well, hell, do better with the indies.
Yeah,
than they do.
Bring the indie in.
Bring in Studio Wildcard, bring in Conan's developers, bring in all these guys that are making these smaller early access games, the early, the indie games. There's a lot of great indie stuff out there that if these handheld makers would embrace better, and I'm looking at Sony as well because they did shitty with Vita on that as well, then these handhelds could thrive because the indie games are popular. There's some of the biggest games out there.
Yeah, at when I went to PAX, there was a whole section. Oh, that write-up's coming, by the way. But there was a whole section of indie games, and it was really quite slick. Some of it was so like far-fetched, and a lot of it was like, hey, we're a bunch of hippies from the West Coast, and we have to like go through our emo, whatever lives or something like that, and that was the game. That was the entire game. It was crazy.
And some of it's just wanging your dick around.
Yeah.
Man, you just love that, don't you? You just go right there.
Nintendo's always had a niche market on handhelds. Sony tried to get into it. I've not cared. I've actually played the Vita and the PSP, and in my opinion, they both sucked. Nintendo, ever since the Game Boy, has had a niche on handhelds, and some of their hottest sellers from the cartridge games was the Pokemon series and Zelda. Mario didn't even, besides the original Mario, nothing else really did. So if you do the independents, look at trying to branch out in some of the licensing, so these independents with games that and focus on the handheld community more. I think.
Well, hardware-wise, I thought the Vita was great. It's just there was no. They did the same. It's a mini Wii U. They didn't support it for shit.
And that's the thing. The handhelds. Most people nowadays, your smartphone alone can carry just the same amount of games.
Yeah.
So when it comes to handheld gaming, really your Samsungs, your iPod, your iPhones, even your iPod touches, they're covering all that just in one little handy device.
Yep.
So yeah, who knows what's going to happen there? But it just and the other thing that bothers me, we are what, 2 weeks away, about 2 weeks away from the release of this system, and 2 weeks tomorrow, and we're looking at leaked documents still. There is nothing else on specs. It's Digital Foundry getting a leaked document. Come on, Nintendo, what's up? Why aren't you telling us what the hell your system's going to do? I think I heard a few people say that this is a soft launch, that they're going to just bring out the hardware now, and then the real launch is when online and all the games come out this fall. And I got a feeling, other than Zelda, they're right.
Yeah, and I think that's a mistake to release it that way. I think they need to come out after the Wii U. The Wii did well. It sold well hardware-wise. I think Wii U obviously didn't. And I think they need to come out with the games, or at least a couple killer games at the start. I mean, Zelda is nice, but they need a few others. And I think a soft launch is bad for this console.
No, especially after the Wii U. After how it started slow, the third-party developers went away in droves, and the system died.
Yeah, there's no reason why they can't have Mario Karts going, a Mario game, and a Pokemon game for it, and Zelda. If you released all those titles right off the get-go, you prepared the console with those games, it'd be a solid launch console-wise, be a solid launch game-wise, and it might spur interest.
Yeah. I think the best thing about Nintendo is the Classic that came out and sold out in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then went for $250 online. I mean, honestly, it's that retro gaming itch. You could do it with a Pi and all that, but it's a fun little console.
Well, a lot of people don't know how to do that and don't have the capabilities.
Exactly.
So,
and you know what? So if you buy this, throw the emulation and the games with that. Well,
and that's I read a rumor this week, and it's a very sketchy rumor, but it's from a Norwegian retailer. Saw it on NeoGAF.
Oh,
that they are discontinuing the Classic, the NES Classic. That they're going to discontinue it and leave it out as a collectible because the Virtual Console will handle all that stuff for the Switch. So whether that's now, like I said, sketchy as hell, that's somebody told somebody who told somebody who told me type of thing. So
you reported on the
super
ReaperCast.
Reliable then.
So in case it happens, you heard it here first. That's
after Johnny read it off another site.
I stole it from another site, and if it happens, we're taking credit for it. So
okay. Anyway, no one cares. See, it's a Nintendo Switch. No one cares.
Yeah, but anyway, so I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks what might be under the hood of this thing. So whether the document is right.
We'll see how long this lasts. Breaking news. Vikes has just rented a GRG Battlefield server.
Hey!
And now it's closed.
And
dead.
He's locked me out of it, that motherfucker.
Very nice.
So maybe for next community night, we'll be able to run a server and manage to keep all GRG on one side.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
All right. Rocket League has some new DLC out. Hot Wheels. I mean, let's face it. We all played with Hot Wheels as kids.
How was this not a thing when it first launched?
Yeah, is
really.
I'm going to guess licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were really small when this first launched. Now they've gotten real big, so they can get these. They can get Back to the Future. They can get Hot Wheels. They can get all these licenses now.
Has there ever been a better product placement in a video game ever than this? I mean, this makes perfect sense.
I would say about the only way they can do.
The Final Fantasy noodles, the Nissan, that Digital was saying that they had perfect product placement. So, but anyways, go on. Rocket League, yeah.
I would say only if they get Knight Rider to follow this up. That'd be about the only thing I could see more.
Do they have A-Team yet?
No, I don't think they do.
They have the A-Team van.
The A-Team van kit. So yeah, some Hot Wheels
Racer.
Hot Wheels cars now will be available in Rocket League. And you're right, this is one of the most perfect product placements ever.
Yeah, and they're using two iconic Hot Wheel cars, the one with the two engines and then the hot rod with the skull, and they're $2 a piece. You can buy it for $2. It's not really killing you. If you want those cars, if you think they're cool, it's $2. So what the fuck? It's only $2. So that's
$2 for you. That's a lot of ramen for me, dude. A lot of ramen.
Yeah, those are two iconic looks too, to a couple of old classics.
Yeah, and I think
they had about 6 different
like
models of them, each different colors and shit. So yeah,
and they have all the different types, like the hats and the banners and whatnot for them as well, Hot Wheels stuff. So it's going to be a big theme for that. And I'm assuming they're going to throw some new maps in and whatnot. I want the DLC that autopilots my car. So since I am the world's
you have
worst
that, they're
Rocket
your
League,
sons.
my kids both play the shit out of this game. They love Rocket League, and they play all the time. It's like pretty much the main game they play at the moment. And they watch me play, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" And they get mad. They make me give them the controller, and then all of a sudden
he gets good.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, you're doing really good." No, yeah. I did it. In fact, I did the last tournament. I gave my kids the controller because we already lost, and I wanted to win one freaking game. I got a hat trick. Whatever.
Yeah, you got a hat trick.
God damn it! It said my name. That's all that matters.
In convention show news, I guess you want to call it, E3 has announced they're open to the public, which, I mean, a lot of people could get in. It didn't take a hell of a lot before.
Apparently it did, because I know people that go that are quote unquote in the industry.
Okay.
Anyway.
I know where this is going.
All I want to say is I can't believe they're letting the unwashed masses into this show. This is for industry only.
We'll leave it at that.
I read that post on the internet, so I don't know.
Yeah, we've heard about it. So
must be true.
It must be true. Does E3 is E3 relevant anymore?
I don't know. I mean, Microsoft's doing their presentation before E3.
Yeah,
Sunday night
and
before.
Sony's got their own.
Sony does what? Saturday before, Sunday before.
EA has their own too.
EA has a full weekend event before. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be doing the weekend before.
It looks like they're trying to get some cash before this, completely just dies out.
Yeah, so now you hear from all the big names, and Nintendo, they won't say anything. They probably won't even tell you they got a Switch out yet.
What? What was that? Sorry, I
console. What console? So yeah, E3 open to the public. Anybody can go. The unwashed masses. Okay, a few releases coming up. For Honor released on Valentine's Day, probably caused a few divorces there. So, I didn't, I played the beta, wasn't really into it. Jack, I know you were in about the same boat there. Anybody?
Yeah, I played the alpha, the original alpha of this, and I guess I was kind of expecting, I think an MMO style PvP, and it turned out it felt like it was more like a hack and slash with I guess some Street Fighter moves. Like press some button combos and whatnot to do special moves. And the game looks awesome. The game is amazing to look at.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
But, it just
commercials look good, but that's all I got to say about it. I have no idea.
The game is stunning. It's great, but it just didn't grab me at all.
Like you said, it's good for in a short dose. It just kind of got same old after a bit, and I just don't know that it's going to have the holding power that other Ubisoft titles have had.
Yeah.
I'm planning on picking it up, but I think I'll wait for it to kind of go on sale, maybe get it pre-owned, because I've got a couple guys I game with from work, and they really enjoy the game. And they're like, hey, you really need to pick this title up. I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to shell out $60 for it. I'll wait till it kind of drops down to about $30, and I might pick it up and check it out.
It could be a good $30 title. If it hits a sale on $30, that could be a good deal.
See, I figure I can just go fire up Elder Scrolls and go into their PvP, Cyrodiil, and get exactly what I want. I don't know, this didn't grab me at all. I didn't even play the beta, so they may have fixed things. I don't know.
It just still felt same old to me after a bit. I mean, it was fun for a little bit, but then, just kind of got a little tiring on my end too. So, Halo Wars 2, the big strategy sequel to Halo Wars. Real-time strategy Halo comes out next Tuesday, the 21st. There's a pretty good following for this. I don't know that we really have the following here in GRG for that game. We got a handful that have shown some interest, but
I must be the worst Asian ever because I suck at RTSs. I mean, really, I do not StarCraft, I do not Command and Conquer, I do not Halo Wars. I just not so good.
Not so good. No.
See, those are the ones that got me. Where that's where I really got my I got my fix in was the StarCraft and Command and Conquer days. I think I got it out of my system.
I wanted to really like those types of games. I had Warcraft, I had Command and Conquer, I had StarCraft, and I can't play it at all. I'm just no. So there's no way I'm getting Halo Wars.
There's just too much going on. It is, yeah.
Well, here's my problem. I can't do it with a controller. I got to have keyboard and mouse. I have never done these games with a controller worth of shit. I got to have keyboard and mouse to pull it off.
Now, from my understanding, Halo Wars, the first one was great. People loved it. People that played it were huge into it.
Oh, yeah, I know some people that really love it.
And I expect I expect some GRG to be playing this. I think we'll get a few.
But again, I can't do worth of shit with a controller. I tried it on a computer once, and oh my god, it was brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, the game's designed for a controller, so it might work well.
Yeah, brain's still wired to keyboard and mouse on those things.
I mean, your brain's still wired to Conan's nuts, so.
And it's getting bigger by the second.
Hey now.
Hey, there ain't a slider for the nuts.
The one thing that we didn't that we've got in there as well is the Wildlands open beta is next week.
Yep, and that's 23rd through 27th.
Yeah, and if you haven't played the closed beta, it's Lala hates everything, but I thought it was pretty good.
I'm looking forward to this one.
I don't know if I get it day one. I think I'd probably wait till the $40-$30 range, but that's kind of my where I'm going anyways.
But you'll miss out with everybody playing it. I think
exactly.
Obviously, yeah, this isn't a title for me, but go figure. I kind of was expecting the Division or to play like the Division, but be open world, and the movements weren't the same. I don't know, and it didn't look as good to me as the Division. Division, I think, is gorgeous. This game looked clunky, but I know a lot of the guys in GRG love this, and they're day one purchasers. So we're going to have quite a few buying this and playing it.
This one feels a little more to me like Metal Gear, like the last Metal Gear's multiplayer, the Metal Gear Online that came with that. Only maybe not as strong in the stealth elements as that game was, because that's really what that was based around.
Let's be honest. Who the fuck wants to do stealth missions when you have a machine gun? I want to shoot every motherfucker.
If I was going solo, I may do some stealth, but it all ends up in a cluster anyways, and I just kind of Leroy
kill everybody.
You got to throw the grenade at some time, and then all of a sudden, then it's time to just come in guns blazing.
Yeah, I can't hit the broadside of a barn. My eyes are too squinty, so I usually hit something on the other side of the of the hut where the guy's standing, and then they call their reinforcements, and I'm like, crap, I gotta go in, safety's off.
Well, I was in a party with Reaper Man when he was actually playing the closed beta. He said the sniping is actually pretty good. I'm actually looking to check out the open beta. I've watched it on YouTube. They're saying it's kind of like the Division, but it's Ubisoft's done like they always do. They've mixed a bunch of their different characteristics from other games. You think Division meets Far Cry. I think this will have a good PvE feel, but as in lasting long in the GRG.
It's got a little Assassin's Creed 2 in it.
Yeah. I think it'll go for a little bit because it's the new shiny penny, but I don't think it'll last too long because the lack of PvP in it will probably lose people's interest in it real quick.
This will be one of those that seems to kind of pop back and forth, in and out with GRG, I think. Kind of like the PvP in Destiny does. People play it for a while, hits the shelf, comes back, especially if there's an update or a DLC that comes out. It'll come back for a while. You'll get squads together, and this is gonna be four player PvE. This is gonna be one of those things. It'll be trendy for a while, release for a while, then fade away, then come back, and then fade away, and then come back. It's gonna be one of those types of games. Division does that quite a bit too. It's in and out with us. This is gonna be one of those things that it's gonna be kind of the old reliable when other games start losing their shiny penny feel. This is one that'll come back. I think they'll kind of pop back. We got a handful of these games now. We got actually quite a lot of them.
Yeah, Grand Theft
Auto, Ark, Conan will be one of those. Just those games that come back when everything gets a little dull. Then it's kind of how we cycle things out now.
Which GTA again is on about, I think it was $30. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, through
GTA
next Tuesday,
5
I think.
Yeah, it's $30. So if you don't have it, grab it.
With the deals are
Gorgeous.
sold.
Yeah, that's definitely a game you should own as a gamer.
Yes.
I think
Masterpiece.
you mentioned Destiny. That's a game I haven't heard in a long time. That completely fell off our radar. I think the Iron Banner, 3 months ago, it was just, we were done. I don't expect to see that get picked up unless we do like nostalgia runs. We want to do like an old dungeon or whatnot.
Unless 2 comes out this fall.
Yeah, until 2 comes out, I think for the most part within GRG, and from what I see on my friends list, where I have like 8 billion people added to my friends list, I'm not really seeing anyone playing Destiny anymore. I think that's kind of had its day.
I think you're right, but I think, it's more people are, they've gone through what they're going to go through and waiting for 2. The rumors are coming up again that 2 is going to get unveiled around the summertime and be out this fall. So
yeah. So with when that starts, announcements for that come out, we might run a few Vault of Glass raids.
So it'll come back, though. It'll come back as soon as there's big news.
Yeah, it'll come back.
We're in it for a couple weeks.
I think that it's not anything that people are going to play to advance their characters, right? I think we're already past that point with that game.
Just to bring it back to shake off the rust before the new one comes out.
Like a night or 2. I just think that game's done.
Yep.
I can definitely see Wildlands as like a drunken Friday, just fucking tearing shit up and just raising hell, PvP in a party. Or PvE
that could
in a party.
be, where this game could really be strong is the video content of us fucking up. Could be really good on this.
That's a nightly thing. Come on.
I mean, from running the site for a while and knowing how games trend and whatnot, this is one that you really kind of want to bite the bullet and pay for it up front and get the gaming action in right away. Because I think if you wait a month, you're going to be gaming solo. So that's
ESO.
Yeah. I like ESO solos. You guys all suck. God forbid one of you motherfuckers look up a goddamn build.
Why?
Just saying. Bad.
Got
why
one.
I have you.
Game at the wrong time than I do.
We all do.
All right, let's move on to our topic for the I guess I was going to say the week, but we do a bi-weekly show. So for this show's topic, episode 52's hot topic. How do we're going to talk about, we're a lot of older gamers. We're 25 and up, got a lot of players in their 30s and 40s, parents, jobs, we're parents, we got jobs, we got responsibilities, no matter what our family or life situation is. We mentioned Farmer with his baby, that just arrived tonight or this early this morning. How do we do it? We got to balance jobs. We have to take our kids here, there, and yonder. We're coaching, we're running committees, we're doing all this stuff. How do we squeeze in our favorite hobby in all this? So I guess the first thing we got to talk about, how often do we game on the average? We got a lot of people that game in various spectrums, whether they game once or twice a week or whether they sneak in an hour or 2 every day. How do you determine how often you game?
It's a good question. I know some of us, not me, some of us not named me, game a lot. I know digital games like pretty much every day. I think Bela does almost every day as well. Yeah, it's all up to, I guess, it's all up to your family, really, and how much they like you.
Well, see, I have.
If we were going that way, I'd game a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, my family hates me, so. Yeah, my family hates me, so I'm pretty much on every night, 9 to 12 p.m. Eastern or Embiid Standard Time. So that's pretty much every day of the week. I watch, I don't watch too much TV at home. Plus, I'm running or involved with GRG events, so it's like 2 or 3 nights a week. I got to be on and do that stuff.
Usually mine's after, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, when the kids are winding down for the night, when their activities are done, like tonight I just helped run Cub Scout pack meeting and rushed over here to record the show. So, home by about 8:30 or 8:40 by the time I finally got home.
That's what complicates it was with the kids. I have 2 boys. They're teenagers, active, tons of sports, tons of after-school activities. And it becomes a challenge, shuffling like tonight, getting this podcast off. I was 30 minutes away at a basketball game. I'm flying down the turnpike to get here on time to get this thing set up. It's hard when I say, I've learned from running GRG, when I say I want to do something, I need to follow through with it. I hate when people don't do that. So it's important that I get home and get this done and get this rolling. But it's challenging with the kids. The kids kind of suck up all the game time. My wife hates me. She wants nothing to do with me. So,
well, my wife reads a lot, so I'm gonna sit there and look over her shoulder and bug her, or else I'm gonna come down here and game, and she can just happily leaf through her books. So I'm doing her a favor.
How to Poison Her Husband Without Getting Caught.
But that's what your wife does. Anyways, doesn't it all?
That's just cooking. That's just standard.
That's just cooking.
That's just cooking. The horrors that goes on in my kitchen. It's child abuse, the food she serves my kid.
Yeah. I with me it's a balance, right? So my wife actually encourages me to game because I work pretty decent hours and it's fairly stressful sometimes, so she wants me to get in there and ease the tension. Sometimes I'm just too wiped out, so a lot of times I don't game on the weekdays, and then usually weekends are saved for family time and stuff like that, so I don't have a whole lot here and there. Lately I've been jumping on and just getting a couple of games in or whatnot. It's for me, it just depends. It depends on how I feel. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. I'd rather read a book, right? Like Lala should be reading The Expanse, but he's too much of a dork not to. And
I'm still working on Twilight. So
yeah, exactly. He's still got to work on Twilight, and then after that, I'm sure you're reading 50 Shades and all. So
you read that.
My bad. So anyway, so yeah, for me, it's kind of an excuse, but it's also kind of like almost a privilege. I'm not saying my wife's like a yeah, she's not because she actually encourages me. It's my aspect of doing it.
You're just too lazy to get on.
That's true, and that's why I went all digital games so that I don't have to get up and change the disc.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
It's funny you mentioned being wiped out, not in the mood to game. And that's why I play games like Elder Scrolls where I'm kind of beat. I don't feel like the stress I actually play in a first-person shooter. I get too crazed about trying to win and get stuff done, my kill-death ratio. Or I can go play Elder Scrolls, bang out a few missions. It's kind of a peaceful way to kind of just relax, unwind, and then go to bed.
Elite is perfect for that because you run a couple of missions and you're just flying through from system to system, and if you get interdicted and you have to shoot somebody, that's even better. But yeah, agreed.
And for me, the survival games do that because if I'm not running in a group, like on the community nights or the nights that we all get together to try to run a cave or a raid or something like that, I can just go gather materials, maybe build something new, get stuff ready, get materials ready for the next raid or whatever, start getting all that ready. So I'm not doing that when it's time to raid or anything. And I can, then I can just do that myself, or maybe 2 or 3 of us can go out and do it or whatever. But, various, I think it's where the flexible games like Quantum, like Elite, like Fish mentioned, you have those various roles that you can play within the game.
Yeah, the open world, you can be what you want to be, and that's actually one of the more selling factors of Elite. Is okay, I come in, I work third shift, so I may come in, I'm worn out, I may want to run a couple missions, get some credits up, and go ahead and I got a long journey across the galaxy. 30-something jumps. It's going to take me a while. I might make half of them and then find somewhere to dock and then go crash. Or if I'm pissed off and come back from work, I might decide to go to the asteroid belt or something and just go shoot shit. So, I mean, it's the same thing with the Division. I might come in the morning. I actually had to learn in the Dark Zone, don't get too aggravated when a rogue jumps you. You farmed it once, farmed it again. So now I come in, I want to de-stress, go run some Dark Zone, make a few extractions. If a rogue gets me, oh well, I'll get it again. Because it's just my relaxing time.
And that's what we have around here. It's more, this is my relaxation. This is how I get, my aggravations out of me. So Fish, I'm kind of in the same boat you are. My wife encourages me because let's face it, she would have divorced me a long time ago if she had to put up with my pissy ass without the ability to go shoot something or go beat up a dinosaur or something.
I think that's the big thing too, is right. As you get older, when you're younger, the hormones are raging and you just want to, get in there and be very aggressive. But as you get older, there's other ways of releasing that tension, right? I mean, you have a job, hopefully, and you work full time, and you've got a family that you've got to juggle, and it's why we do what we do. It's why, when people ask me what do you do for fun, and I'm like, I kind of game, and I don't even do that often, and but it's that release. It's just the relaxation of it.
And and this is, again, I'm going to let this kind of drive the conversation to one of the later topics here, subtopics here. Have you guys run into? Okay, we're all what 30s, 40s right now. Quantum, are you?
I'll be 30 this year.
You'll be okay. So you're about to enter your 30s. You're the young, and you're about to enter your 30s. You're hitting that point.
Go down.
Yeah,
you're hitting that point that's going to come up with my third subtopic here. Do you run into people who say, "Really, you still game at your age?"
Actually, I have I've actually got several guys. One guy that I game with that works with me now. I've known him since middle school, and we've gamed since like that. And I've met other people. I've got guys at work that, of course, they're on the PS4 side, whatever, and they've got families. And I'll sit and talk games with them. They're not as into it as me, and they'll call me, like little geek or something above it. But they'll admit, hey, it is fun. I'm in a relationship, and I've been in a relationship for almost 2 years with an older woman. She's treats me like a king.
Jaws is here.
But sometimes I think the gaming aggravates her because she's like, well, you picked the games over me. But then there's other times she's like, go play your game and get the hell out of my hair. So it's kind of back and forth. You just kind of learn to balance it. And it's like I tell her, if I am gaming, I'm going to kick back, relax, where she might want to just browse through TV and watch TV. It's like, I don't care nothing for the shows it's on. I'd rather go hang out with.
Does she watch like dramas or soap operas?
No.
Okay, because I was just going to say, one thing I've found is that when my wife starts watching her dramas or soap operas, I start giving them the Mystery Science Theater treatment. That is the quickest way to get her to kick my ass down here to play some games. So, well,
I know me and her actually do have some stuff in common. Like we both like the Big Bang Theory. We actually plan on starting. We actually own all the seasons on DVD except for the new one. We're going to start a marathon here soon. But a lot of times she might want to sit back, relax, drink on her wine a little bit, and kick back. And I'm like, well, she's like, just leave me alone, let me relax, go play your game for a little bit. When I want you around, I'll tell you, come on back. So,
but that's just it. Like, my wife watches a lot of her Housewives as some crazy ass county or whatever. I have no interest in that.
Wow, there was a Freudian slip.
What?
You kind of said the C word there.
Oh. And as far as TV, like I usually wind up I work as an IT guy, and I'm building servers, running stuff. So I constantly have stuff going in the background, and I'll put I'll download the shows, watch it at work, just as background noise and stuff like that. There's, I watch just a few shows I really pay attention to, so it is kind of my source of entertainment. But as far as what others think about me gaming, they all know that I'm pretty involved with it. I got a lot of people that aren't gamers at all in the slightest. They don't play anything video game related, and they knew about the trips I took to Chicago with Tool to play the lands and stuff like that. And they don't really mock me because I explain to them what we do, and I mean they kind of get it. Get away from the family, do your own thing. Kind of party for the weekend. They may not understand the gaming as much, and I think that's mainly because they just don't understand modern games. The budget for these games is massive. I mean, and there's a game that basically will fit anybody's need. The guys I'm friends with are very they're into sports, and they could get into Madden or baseball or something like that, or Forza if they want to do like some racing. So I don't think people really understand what games are now. They're not playing Pac-Man. We're way past something like at that level. There's a lot of thought,
it's also where you're at too, right? So I work in the tech industry, in a very big tech industry, and most people game. I mean, it really is. It's hard to find people who don't, and who don't understand it. In fact, we have a gaming division where, in the company I work for. So it's a gaming culture, and it's just one of those things where it's a lot more. Of course, it is a lot younger. So a bunch of millennials, but a lot more, a bunch of older people in our age brackets, are gaming. My wife loves gaming. And I think that's a big thing, and she's probably put more hours in Fallout than most of the people in GRG, except for I think Digital probably put like a ton of hours. But for the most part, she's put a ton of hours in Fallout. And I mean, we used to sit around and game on the weekends, and was like, I think we need to eat something today, and it'd be like 6:00 after being in the office for 12 hours, it seems.
The reason why I ask is because I actually had this happen and it's been a few years since I've actually had this happen, but I had it happen at a church meeting, and I was talking because one of my pastors is a gamer, and he got like the NES, he got that NES Classic. We were talking about it, and I was talking about various games. We were talking back and forth, and this lady, and I don't think she meant any malice out of it, but it was just kind of that, it kind of brought me back to that old, middle school, high school days when it was, the girl was asking, "You game? Really?" And it was just kind of like, wow, that's still here. That kind of thought about it is still here.
Johnny succumbs to peer pressure, so that wouldn't bother me. I care less what people think.
No, I mean, it doesn't bother me. It just kind of shocked me that
sounds like it did.
It was. Right? It just kind of shocked me that it was still kind of how people, that there were still people that thought that way about. Gaming,
what my wife gives me grief about gaming on the Xbox all the time. Meanwhile, she's playing Candy Crush or whatever the hell she's playing on her iPhone. So they just, they see their games are okay. They don't understand, what we're doing, the games we're playing. Holding a controller and buying an Xbox is geeky to them. Yet they'll be on their iPhones playing whatever games they're playing. I don't worry about it.
It's also about the area, right? It's about the area and the people. I mean, on the West Coast, we're a little more, hippie-ish. Yeah. So in the center of the country, I'm sure it's a little more. A little more closed-minded in certain communities.
They just get upset that he wastes electricity in Nebraska on gaming. It's a very valuable resource in Nebraska.
It could go towards corn. More corn farming.
They got plenty of corn.
No, they don't. Do you import corn?
Well, it's winter, so I mean, the grocery
The
store's going to
import-
have it from elsewhere.
Well, I know as
Shame.
I'm reaching reaching into my 30s, it's probably not looked down when I say it because like, well, you're still young. But when I actually say something about I'm gaming, initially it's like you still game. I might get a raised eyebrow, but then I tell them, well, because most people equate gaming as gaming with kids. Well, I'm like, no, I'm part of a gaming community that's strictly 25 and up, where it's like the equivalent of some guys get off work and go to the bar to hang out to unwind. Well, we just go home, get on an Xbox, and we're hanging out with guys from across the country or overseas, Canada, wherever. It's worldwide. And then they're like, really? And then you start explaining to them that, yeah, this is not just localized spots. This is global. And they're like, wow, I did not even realize that. And it's like, if you'll wake up and open your eyes, you'll see it.
Now that I get, more the interest in, wow, you guys can actually coordinate like that across various time zones, and a little more of the amazement at how you can, because a lot of their last experience was Dig Dug or Pac-Man.
Yeah.
So, maybe playing Mario on their Nintendo at home in junior high or something like that. But, a lot of that, yeah, it's not so much these days. The more consistent one is the amazement at how, you coordinate. Oh, wow, you go to a website, you talk to all these guys, you get together and you're playing all night long, kind of, wow, that's kind of interesting how y'all, take it that seriously and coordinate. Of course, they don't see my stats, but
you shouldn't show stats.
It's like my girlfriend. She'll start drinking a bottle, or be drinking on her wine, or be sitting back, and I'll be sitting there playing with some of the members on Call of Duty or whatever, and I keep dying, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, were you supposed to shoot that person? Why'd you die?
Gotta get good.
Yeah, my wife's horrible at that. She'll tell me, she's like, you always die at these games. You still buy them. I'm just like, it's because I can't see straight. That's why.
I'm just a masochist. I just like pain.
I get that shit from my kids. My 13-year-old coming downstairs and I'll die or something. Wow, Dad, you really suck at this. Maybe you should give it up. I said, maybe you should give up on the Wi-Fi after I shut it off.
Wow.
He doesn't have to wait long to see you die, right? It's usually pretty quick.
Well, Johnny games less than I do, so I mean, you kind of have to wait for him to get online.
Well, these art games and Conan has completely absorbed him. He puts time in those games. He's a little out of control.
I have tons of time.
It's no different than me farming in the Dark Zone all the time. So I mean,
but Johnny went from buying every game and not playing it to buying every game, playing Ark and Conan.
I only have 225 hours in Ark.
That's nothing.
PC only.
Like Guild Wars.
That doesn't
like Guild Wars
my
hours would blow that away. I'm scared to even do like a /age on that game. I'm in the thousands. But anyway, next question.
Well, we kind of brushed on this one a little bit. Kind of brushed on it. We'll wind back to it. Your responsibilities. We talked about the kids. We talked, more work and meetings and stuff like that. How often do you find those conflict with what you want to do? And I'm not just talking about the 8 to 5 spot where we're working or whatever your normal hours are, after those hours.
I have my area. It's different for me because since, I run GRG, oversee everything.
Right.
Gaming alone isn't just part of my responsibility. It's running the site. And I would consider that part of gaming. It's all related. And running the site, it takes a lot of my time. There's a lot of time involved with running GRG. You wouldn't think it, but it is. It's ridiculous. So not only during the day do I got to check the site several times a day, I got to make sure the actual server is running, the website software is running properly. Then you have the issues with people or games, blah, 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 all that nonsense. That goes on. That's 24/7 for me. So, I mean, I'll check the site, I'll check the forums before I go to bed just to make sure everything's okay. People are posting, no one's bickering or fighting. The site's working. So it's when I work around my responsibilities, it's just something that's just now part of my daily routine. Just every day, I do it during work, I do it at home. As far as gaming, I don't. You'll never see me. you rarely see me anytime on before 9. Sometimes, well, no, I'm lying now. Maybe 2 nights a week when the wife and kids are out at soccer practice, I'll get on a little earlier. But like weekends, you won't see me on before 9. There's like a million things going on my weekends that I can't ever game during the afternoon, like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I think the Sea of Thieves alpha was out. It was like 1 to 3 or some crazy hours during it. I'm like that's nice. I can't do that. I can't get on a Saturday 1 to 3. I have like the kid activities. I have shit around the house I got to do. It's just there's no way. So I can only work. I work around my responsibilities because I get on gaming at the point where I'm not doing anything. At 9 o'clock at night, I'm not doing shit. I'm not besides taking out the trash. That's about the only thing I'll do around the house.
Yeah, I have that a lot where, the evenings are the more consistent times for me. Once in a while, I'll sneak in an afternoon or an early evening, if there's not much going on. Our weekends are either we're balls to the wall going everywhere or we don't have shit. That's just kind of how our weekends seem to go. We'll have like 3 that are just insane and then 1 where there's not a damn thing going on. Yeah. So, and I think, we're all in different kind of positions here, Jack, your kids are more into sports. Mine are more into, like speech and the arts and stuff like that. Scouting, Quantum, you're in, in a relationship and not kind of more the budding aspects of a relationship where
plus my hours are third shift and I just recently started back to secondary education. I'm going back for start with my associates and work up to a master's in psychology. So school's button into that is basically find it where I can.
Yeah.
You could do some theses on GRG with psychology.
Well, actually one of them I already talking about gaming. So
the last line in his final thesis: "These guys are fucked."
Dysfunctional adult gamers.
Actually, I'm gonna open up. Lala's gonna give me my own little column, little forum thing where it's gonna be GRG psychology. You come post there, and then I'm gonna fix your head. I'll fix your brains.
Dr. Quantum.
Help us all.
Dr. Quantum.
Dr. Klutz.
After the first day.
How's that working for you?
But yeah, mine's usually, like I said, my game is how I unwind. So I get off 5 a.m. I'm usually home by 5:30, fed the horses, got them out in the pasture, done to take care of what I need to around here. Unless it's a school day, usually I'm cramming before I go to school. Otherwise, I'm get on for about an hour, unwind, relax. Unless I feel like I might get on YouTube, check out something game related to see what's the newest builds, strategies, tips, stuff like that. And then I crash. If I get up early enough, if I feel like it, take care of what I got to do around here. Again, taking care of the horses or any work I got around the house. And then I might get on for an hour before I go to work if I've got time. Usually farm the Dark Zone, run some Warframe or whatever's going on. Weekends are mainly the best time I get, and it's usually on set. Sometimes Fridays if I'm not working overtime, or Saturday nights, because I'm still going to stay, even though I'm working during the day around here, I still have to stay up late to keep those third-hour sleep schedule.
Right. So that's that third shift is more your daytime. And Fish even has a little different situation where both, he and his wife game, a little different than some of us where we're kind of away from everybody, where yours is more interacting with, I interact with the kids through gaming more, but not necessarily the wife.
Oh yeah, no, my wife loves it. She, she'll, when Fallout first came out, she was like, I don't know, what is this? And then she just played it and then played it and then played it. And the next thing you know, she's got like 8 days into it. And that's just gaming time. And I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, where did this come? I don't even know how many days she has into it now, but it's crazy. We go back, even to the days of like GTA Vice City, where she would just sit there and she would do most of the missions, but then all the driving stuff she would hand over to me. Here, do the driving. I can't do it, and I'm like, all right, sure. So I drive it, and then of course, me, I'd jack a motorcycle. She goes, I hate when you do that because it drives me crazy because you'll like lose, you'll crash into something and then you'll get busted, and I'm like, yeah, but it's more fun.
Drive?
Oh yeah, I can actually drive.
I saw that softball.
I am the I am atypical Asian when that comes. Now, don't ask me to back up, but I can drive straight forward.
You can't play real-time strategy games, and you can drive. It's something that's not making sense.
And my math is okay. It's okay, So, but yeah, for the most part, the gaming aspect and responsibilities, for me, it's all about my family and my kid, my wife, and stuff like that, and so they take first seat, and I think being with the group for however many years now, I mean, you probably already gather that when I was living back in Florida, I worked from home, and so I'd be on all the time, but now that I'm out West Coast, I'm barely on.
All right, well, good talk. I'm going to introduce something a little new here. We'll see how much traction this gets. At forums.grim.
Hold on.
Yes.
Is this in the agenda?
No.
Denied.
It'll only take a second. At forums.grimreapergamers.com, I'm going to start a topic. So we've told you how we balance all this shit out. So how about we get feedback from the rest of the community? How do you balance your gaming time and your responsibilities with your family and your jobs and everything? So look on the forums after you listen to the show, and you will see the topic. I'm going to actually have that in place shortly after we're finished recording.
So you're actually going to post in the forums, create your own post?
I'm going to create a post.
So twice a month?
This is actually, I think, my fourth.
So
it's been a busy month.
Overall.
No, this month.
I'm proud of you.
Earning that staff paycheck of nothing.
Grex gets paid. That's all I got to say.
I don't know that your nude selfies are payment.
He never complains.
Poor Kahura. Anyway, all right. Good talk. So like I said, forums.grimreapergamers.com. We're going to have that topic up. We'll see what kind of feedback we get. We may feature some posts on the next show. All right. Good show. Good topic. Let's go ahead and welcome. We had a handful of new members. What did we get? About 4 or 5 here between PC and Xbox?
I threw out a few recruitment posts, just some real quick ones, and we did get like a bunch of guys. I already got them in some games, and they seem to be getting along with everybody. So it's been good. Good.
Not bad for one of the slower times of the year typically. In gaming, spring doesn't seem to bring a lot out. So Wildlands might do that though. So welcome. Keep joining games. We don't bite unless you ask. Our next show will be recorded on, let's see, it will be March 2nd. So we will start our 3rd year of shows. Facebook page at facebook.com/GrimReaperGamers. Check us out there, and also check out our Twitter, Grim Reaper, or grgamers.com, spell out dot. Jammer would be pissed. I screwed it up. We have our twitch.tv presence, Grim Reaper Gamers over there. YouTube, check out our YouTube channel, and you can get the podcast on iTunes, Google Play. What was the one you just put it on recently, Jack? What was it?
It was Stitcher.
Stitcher, yes, thank you. I had Slacker in the back of my head. It was Stitcher.
Yeah, and you can also get it if we have the RSS link, and if you use any sort of podcast app, you just dump the RSS feed into it, and it'll just auto-load.
And that can be found on our main page.
Mm-hmm.
So many, many ways to listen to your favorite podcast. And us too. All right, so I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Join us if you are not a member. Join us on the forums and at the site grimreapergamers.com and forums.grimreapergamers.com. And then, like I said before, check out everything, past episodes on YouTube. That episode 10 I hear is great. And check us out iTunes, Google Play, wherever you want to check us out at. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate you being on the show. So for Quantum, for Jack, for Big Fish, this is Johnny Hustler saying, stay safe, have a good week or 2 weeks, and don't game alone.